Welcome to MBA Now. I'm Rob Van Raphorst. There's a lot going on in commercial multifamily, and here to talk about it with us is Tom Kim, our Senior Vice President of Commercial Multifamily. Tom, thanks for being here.
My pleasure, Rob.
Tom, what kind of year has 2016 been for the commercial real estate finance market?
Sure. I think it's fair to say that this year has been quite eventful in a number of different ways. As folks may remember, early in the year, it started off a little bit bumpy, with the capital markets in particular experiencing a lot of volatility, and the CMBS sort of market feeling the brunt of that in particular. On top of that, the banking regulators sort of focused on CRE lending as an activity, and as a result of that, across different capital sources, there was some concern. You fast forward to today, overall property fundamentals by and large have remained strong and have been holding up. And our recent forecast indicates at least moderate growth looking forward. Having said that, I think there is still a sense of caution in the market and some uncertainty certainly as we move forward.
So speaking of that sense of caution, what is contributing to it?
Sure. I think there are a number of factors at play. One is that we are now in a post-election period, and with the new administration that'll be coming in, as well as a new Congress, while there are some directional indications, exactly where the focus areas may be is left to be seen. Of course, MBA is very much on top of that already. In addition, of course, where interest rates may be and at the pace that they may change is going to be critically important to the market. And of course, we're watching the Fed very closely. The last thing that I'll mention, Rob, is that the current regulatory environment is still creating some uncertainty. So if you think about, say, risk retention, which is a rule that's been around for some time, it's actually going into effect in December. And exactly what the impact of that will be on CMBS, but of course across the industry, is left to be seen to some extent.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up regulatory issues because, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you recently write an op-ed in the Scotsman's Guide on this?
Yeah, I did. And I think the focus of that at the outset is that commercial real estate and the financing thereof is critically important to our economy and our communities.
Sure.
But as a result of that, it's really important that regulators and policymakers strike a regulatory balance. We tend to think of sort of individual rules at a time and how they affect certain sectors and markets. But one of the things that we've been emphasizing is sort of across the board, the interplay among those rules and how they're sort of layered on top of each other. And there could be some unintended impacts as a result. So, we've really been emphasizing in our meetings with regulators and policymakers that they need to consider the whole ecosystem of commercial real estate finance.
All right, so finally, as we look across the MBA Association, what other areas of focus do we need to know about?
Sure. I think that the policy and advocacy work that we've been talking about is critically important with the new leadership in Washington in particular. But across the association, whether it's our meetings and conferences, whether it's our research, our education, the business intelligence that we provide to our members, all of those things, I think, are intended to advance our members' business interests. I'll mention a couple of things, Rob. One is that earlier this year, we started some regional meetings to connect members with each other and with MBA. And those have gotten some great feedback, and folks seem to be really engaged with how we are going to different parts of the country to engage our membership. The other thing is that working with our Commercial Board of Governors and the leadership, we focused on younger professionals at our member firms. And that's partly to groom new leaders. It's also to engage across the different sort of roles within our member firms. And it's adding a lot of great energy to our broader membership. And we've hosted a couple of great receptions. We're going to be doing some other things, so we're very excited about it. And stay tuned for more.
Yeah, it's a huge initiative that we are focused on here at MBA, so I'm really glad you brought it up. Thanks for mentioning it and coming by and talking about a whole host of other issues as well.
It's been great.
Thanks. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at MBA Mortgage or check out Mortgage Bankers Association on Facebook and Instagram.